Today I'm wearing the hat of PyTorch Foundation within Linux Foundation. I think my first question for all of you are how many of you are familiar on the machine learning framework PyTorch? Raise the hand. Okay, so there are a few of them that doesn't know. So that's why I added some introductions before sharing more insights on what's going on in this program for academic OSPOs about the PyTorch Foundation. So PyTorch Foundation is under Linux Foundation, and we are beyond just maintaining the PyTorch project that is used widely at many AI models, because it's one of the most adopted tools for AI modeling, and it has a whole ecosystem. We go beyond that, and our mission is to celebrate the adoption of AI technologies and help researchers and educators, and also companies to adopt and deploy AI tools within the whole AI ecosystem. So that's why we not only host and give support for PyTorch and all the PyTorch libraries, but we go to the full AI project lifecycle, and we are now hosting projects from data processing, fine-tuning modeling, edge inference, and all the layers that you can think of when thinking about AI ecosystem and AI stack. We have PyTorch right now has more than we have a few projects getting in the ecosystem, and also new hosted projects, not just PyTorch. We also have tools around orchestration like RAID, Bray, BitSpeed, and VLLM. And we are just growing. So this is the whole overview of the PyTorch Foundation. And with this in mind, we thought about having a program dedicated to academia, especially to raise the voice of these underrepresented voices that usually have. And we just started to build this program, the OSPO Academic Outreach, with the mission of foster open source innovation in academia. The main scope is to help guide AI projects on best practices, and our purpose are divided into three main areas. The first one will be to educate or provide education materials on how to do open source AI. So this comes from governance, licensing, maintainer best practices. The second point is to educate on academia on how to use and contribute to the PyTorch Foundation projects that are involved in the ecosystem, so the ones that I just mentioned. And the third one, I think it's really interesting, is to have a way to do a fast track for academia to get involved in this ecosystem and make it more accessible and easier for them to get involved, and to also perhaps transfer into a project into the foundation. So with that in mind, right now we are just at a really early stage. This means we're still building up a charter, we're still building out a governance model, and we want and we would like more academia to get involved in that design process. So far, we set it up a webinar series for academia. We had a premiere webinar last year on open source AI best practices. The idea is to have this space for academia to also share any workshops or best practices or presentations related with PyTorch ecosystem where they can share. And there are other program deliverables that we are thinking of in the midterm and in the long term for 2026. So having a set of templates on open source AI best practices for academia, having workshops on project enablement. This can be on-site at major AI conference like PyTorch conference, or this can be also virtual. Having an academic fast track bundle, like, okay, these are the steps or mentorship to help academia to get more involved in the PyTorch ecosystem. And in the long term, having an open source AI report or a playbook. This is more like ideal things. And these are things being cooked, things that we would like your input, your feedback, and your contributions if you would like to get involved in the governance role to get this more into shape. So ways to get involved right now. There are 3 major areas. The first one is we have the webinar series. We are looking for call for proposals, and you can already get involved. Or if you know in a research lab you're involved, or peers that might be having this knowledge in the PyTorch ecosystem to present about a project related with PyTorch, they can do so and submit a session for the 2026 webinar series. You can become an advisor or get involved in the program evolution and design. We are meeting right now monthly on Wednesdays, and the idea is, and we also have in the PyTorch Slack channel an open channel where you can get involved and start participating, give your input. And as I mentioned, right now we are starting reviewing a charter that clarifies all these roles and all this mission, and we start making things on. And finally, we also have a mailing list that we just opened a few months ago to start having these network discussions where you can also share your feedback and your input. And for any further questions or submitted a call for papers to the webinars, you can go to OSPO-outreach@pytorch.org. We also have in mind other fun things like having an academia track at the major PyTorch cons. And for those who doesn't know, we have PyTorch cons in North America, in Europe, in India, China, and probably Japan this year. So we have good exposure, and having an academic track is one of the things we are thinking, and having a program committee from academia to be able to do the reviews and the program design and the kind of themes and topics. So overall, I didn't want it to be really long with this presentation because I wanted to spend time to talk with you to get an open discussion here on your thoughts. And what is more important, how do you think PyTorch Foundation through this academic program can help you to meet your goals or to get more involved in the open source ecosystem? And what would you like to see in this kind of program as something that will be valuable for you, and how can we help? So I hope.
Yeah, you have loads of time.
Perfect. So,
thanks a million.
Yeah, thank you. Have any questions? Angela?
I'm Angela Enberg from University of California in Vienna. So really curious about this program, and I have 2 questions. One is, when do you think these workshops will be ready, and how can we know about inviting you to present those? And the second question is, there's going to be a certain set of skills that you're going to need from contributors. Have you considered having a checklist? And perhaps we can work from our end to make sure that we have our students ready.
Right. Yeah. So actually, this program, what we are doing is get as many eyes as possible from academia to contribute to these workshops. And before doing a call for workshops and call for papers and for the workshops, we will need your input to help us define the theme. So yeah, what my answer is, we don't know yet when the workshop will be, because it will be determined by the contributions. And for that, we still need to define the themes and topics that we would like to get with your help, by getting involved in the program design. So this is still really early stage. And the reason we are doing this is because we want to get as many eyes possible in academia to shape this program with academic input, rather than just PyTorch defining what they think is best. I hope this answers to your question.
Does anyone have any other questions, or? Okay. Any comments? Does anyone have any thoughts they wanted to share?
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Francesca. I'm with the OSPO at Stanford University. I was wondering, for your second bullet point on present a topic, academic, OSPO, and researcher-led sessions, do you have examples of having held these sessions already? What kinds of projects and studies using PyTorch libraries or projects get presented? Because we convene like a monthly roundtable of devs, and a lot of our developers are using various AI libraries. I think PyTorch is one that we've had like a project deep dive on, and wanted to see what kind of events that you've held and how that may fit to our community.
Yeah, so far we just have this, that it was more like general open source AI best practices. But regarding PyTorch projects, it will be anything that, like a research paper or any research paper or project being developed in academia that touches not just a PyTorch library, but it can be something related with the hosted projects from the PyTorch Foundation, and also something that might eventually become part of the PyTorch ecosystem project. It can be also, even though it's something that is being developed in a research lab, for instance, and it can gain visibility by being shared in the PyTorch webinars, and in the future, perhaps being part of the PyTorch ecosystem and be listed as one of the PyTorch ecosystem projects.
And is the intended audience for those webinars other academic OSPOs, or is it more broadly just people?
It will be people engaging in academia, can be researchers, can be academic OSPO leaders, can be students, but always within the academic field.
Hi, I'm Zach, also from Stanford. Thanks for
Colleagues.
What are the advantages, if any, for a academic project that becomes an official part of this ecosystem? Because of course, maintaining things is always a chore, and getting to a sustainable state where something's either in a foundation or fiscal sponsor is one of the goals of our more successful stuff. So what are the benefits for a lab that has built something amazing with PyTorch, kind of belongs there, but what do we tell them?
Yeah, I think, you mentioned the long-term sustainability that is under a neutral governance, and you maintain the project in the long term and doesn't die with the creator. I don't know, I created this for my PhD, and then the project dies because, the main contributor finds something else and doesn't get that traction it has. The PyTorch Foundation is kind of popular, and having just listed as an ecosystem project gives visibility and gives more eyes from other folks, from other stakeholders and contributors from companies, other students, other universities, and creates this sustainable life cycle. That will be one of them. And the other is also from the contributor point of view, it also gives visibility at major PyTorch conference as well, to present and to give visibility on academic projects that powers the PyTorch ecosystem.
Is there any fiscal sponsorship that comes with that? So like, what I mean is, for really successful software projects that grow to a certain point inside a university, they usually hit like a ceiling because of the way that university finances operate. If something were to enter this ecosystem, can they raise funds through the foundation?
We're still at the really early stage for that, but it's not something that we have. I mean, it's something that has been thought of, like having some sort of support, financial support, but we don't know yet on like, that is the kind of feedback that I'd love to get from you. Like, okay, if that is one of the major incentives, so with this, bring back to the PyTorch Foundation governing board, so they can allocate this budget and help to this program to grow. So